Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we make sense of those big corporate announcements. Today we're cracking open a report from Gencor Industries Incorporated, and let's just say there was some shareholder voting happening that you'll want to hear about. So, what's the big deal with this filing? Well, it's a Form 8K, which is like a current report. Think of it as a company announcing important stuff that just happened and they need to tell the public right away. In this case, Gencor Industries held its annual meeting of stockholders back on the 26th of September, 2025. And you know what that means, votes were cast, decisions were made, and we get to see the results. The main event here was the submission of matters to a vote of security holders. Basically, the company asked its shareholders to vote on a few key things, and this report tells us exactly how those votes went down. It's like getting the official minutes from a big company meeting. First up, they voted on who will be on the company's board of directors. These are the big decision makers who guide the company's strategy. For the common stock shareholders, General John G. Coben, retired, was up for election. Then for the Class B stock shareholders, E.J. Elliott, Mark G. Elliott, Thomas Vecchiola, and Walter Accession Jr. were also candidates for the board. It's pretty standard for companies to have different classes of stock with different voting rights, and that's exactly what we see here. Let's dive into the actual numbers for these director elections. For General John G. Coben, who was elected by the common stockholders, he got a solid 5,633,229 votes for him. That is a good chunk. He also had 384,1443 votes that were either abstained or withheld. We also see 1,292,403 broken non-votes. Now, broken non-votes happen when a broker holds shares for a client, but doesn't he receive instructions on how to vote them, so they can T-cast a vote. Now, looking at the Class B stock elections, things were quite different for E.J. Elliott, Mark G. Elliott, Thomas Vecchiola, and Walter Accession Jr. They each received the full 231,8857 votes for them. And get this, 0 votes were cast as abstained or withheld, and 0 broken non-votes. This tells us that the Class B stockholders were pretty unified in their decision to elect these 4 individuals to the board. It seems like they were all in agreement, and the report confirms it, all the director nominees were indeed duly elected. So, these are the people who will be steering Gencor Industries for the next term. Next up, and this is a crucial one for any company, was the ratification of the selection of their independent registered public accounting firm. Basically, they asked shareholders to approve who will be auditing their books for the year ending on the 30th of September 2025. This is important because independent auditors make sure the company's financial statements are accurate and reliable. The firm they chose to ratify was Berkowitz Pollack Brandt Advisors plus CPAs. Let's look at the vote for this. For the common stockholders, there were a whopping 10,704,103 votes for ratifying the accounting firm. Only 62,471 votes were against it, and a mere 501 votes were abstained or withheld. There were no broken non-votes on this particular proposal for the common stock. This shows overwhelming support from the common stockholders to keep Berkowitz Pollack Brandt Advisors plus CPAs on board. And for the Class B stockholders, it was unanimous. All 2,318,857 votes were for ratifying the firm, with 0 votes against, 0 abstained or withheld, and 0 broken non-votes. This means Gencor Industries has a clear mandate from both classes of shareholders to proceed with their chosen auditor. And just like the directors, this proposal to ratify the independent auditors was also duly approved. It appears shareholders were happy with the company's choices on these fronts. Interestingly, the report states that no other business was brought before the annual meeting. This suggests that the agenda was focused specifically on these director elections and the auditor ratification. It was a pretty straightforward meeting in that regard. Finally, and this is the part where the big signatures come in, the Principal Financial and Accounting Officer, Eric E. Mellon, signed off on this report on the 29th of September, 2025. This is what makes the filing official and legally binding. It shows that the company leadership is acknowledging these voting results. Now, let us put on our analyst hats and look at what this all means for Gencor Industries. On the surface, this report shows a very unified shareholder base when it comes to key corporate governance decisions. The overwhelming approval for both director nominees and the auditor suggests a general satisfaction with the current leadership and oversight. Especially on the Class B side, the unanimous votes indicate strong backing for the proposed board members. For the common stock, while General Coben had significant votes. For the number of abstained or withheld votes is notable. It's not necessarily negative, but in a world where directors are often elected with near unanimous support from common shareholders, this could suggest some level of minority shareholder concern, or perhaps just a desire for more engagement. However, the complete lack of opposition to Gencor's choice of auditor is a strong positive signal. Trust in the financial reporting process is paramount, and getting that backing from all shareholder classes is a big win. Looking ahead, the stability and leadership established by these elections is generally a good thing. It allows the company to focus on its business operations without immediate governance shake. UBS, the lack of any other business brought before the meeting could mean shareholders are content with management's strategic direction, or it could mean there are underlying issues that weren't voiced during the meeting but might surface later. Wednesday need to see Gencor's financial performance in their upcoming reports to get a clearer picture of the company's true health and whether this shareholder approval translates into tangible business success. For now, the story is one of continued stability in leadership and strong endorsement of their auditing process. Alright, that is our breakdown of Gencor Industries' latest filing. What is your take on these shareholder votes and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description below for more discussions. Thanks for watching. See you next time.